folks. It's another dog park video. Southern Zen with Sage Stranger or Mike or whoever. In this video I wanted to talk to you about numerology, and we'll talk a little bit about astrology. I am not an expert on either of these things, but it's one of those subjects that I think there is something to these things. I'll give you a quick example about astrology. When I was still pastoring, I was doing gospel illusion shows. Gospel magic shows, gospel illusions is what I call them, shows for kids, for revivals and vacation Bible schools and stuff like that. And I went down to a buddy of mine's church in Alabama, and I was riding around with him, and he got to talking about how before he got into the ministry he was really into astrology. And now we had talked several times before this. I knew him from some classes we had taken together, but we'd never shared any intimate details with each other, like, you know, birthdays or anniversaries or anything like that, you know. So he starts talking about, you know, how it was, he could tell a whole lot about a person from their date of birth. And he said, you for instance, he said, I'm not sure, but I would guess that you were born somewhere around early February. Well, I was just floored because my birthday's February 3rd. And I was like, man, how did you know that? You know, I mean, did you just, he said, well, just from knowing you and knowing your personality, I figured you were an early Aquarian. I'm like, man, how does that happen, you know? So that in itself kind of gave me pause to think, you know, there's got to be something in this astrology stuff. And granted, like if I look up Aquarius, you know, I'm pretty much tagged by most of what, you know, the basic astrology stuff says about Aquarians. So like I say, I'm not an expert on astrology, but I think there's something to it. And so more on to the subject of the video here is numerology. I also think there's something to. And I got involved in that by listening to the Number Lady, Glennis McCannis, on Coast to Coast AM radio program, late night show radio program. And she was just really good, and I bought one of her books and studied it a little bit. And she uses what's called the Pythagoras numerology system. And I'm going to just tell you just briefly about it. And I think it's pretty accurate, you know, if you start looking into it. But I definitely recommend her books. She's got 2 or 3 books. The one I have is Glennis Has Got Your Number. And it's just, you know, she has one that's dedicated mostly to love relationships, you know. And maybe some more too. I'll try to link her website. I think it's just numberladies.com, thenumberslady.com or something like that. I'll put the link in the description. But anyway, the main number you get in numerology is your life path, and the way you get that. And so when you finish watching this video, you'll be able to figure this out on your own, and then you can just look up what your number means. Okay, it'd be easy to look up, just search it. So you get your life path by adding, you take all your full birthday, like all the numbers. So mine is, and I've got a picture here I'm gonna post of my little book that where I've got my stuff wrote down. I'm gonna post a bigger picture where you can see this better, but I keep all this information in a little book here that I'm able to actually kind of do basic numerology readings if I've got this book with me, just basic stuff, you know. So mine is February 3rd, as I already mentioned. So that's 0203, and then my birth year is 1969, so 1969. And what you do is you add up all these numbers, the digits of all the numbers. So 0 plus 2 plus 0 plus 3 plus 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 9. And with me, that comes up to 30. and then you reduce that down to a single digit. So you would, like if you had 31, then you'd add the 3 and the 1 and get a 4. But mine's 30, so it's 3 plus 0. So my single digit is 3, which means my life path in numerology is a 3 life path. And that pegs me because 3s are communicators. They are into creative arts. They're broad-minded. Sometimes they're scattered. That is totally me. They're bouncy, you know. So that's kind of my life path is 3. And then if you want to figure out, there's also, if you want to delve a little bit deeper, you can figure out your attitude. Now the life path is the path like if you're not doing this in your life, you're probably not as happy as you could be. Like if I'm living out that communicator, creative kind of 3 life path, that's where I'm going to be happiest in life. Doesn't mean that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Doesn't mean that's what I've done all my life, but that's where I would be happiest. Now the attitude is usually kind of more along the lines of what you show the world. And mine turns out to be a 5. So I'd add 0203, the day and the month, or the month and the day rather, and I'd add those numbers up, and that gives me, reduce it down to a single digit, that gives me my attitude number. So mine is a 5. And 5s are dynamic, adventurers, daring, they're procrastinators, which I totally am, restless, and quick-witted. Now that's what I am putting out to the world, even though my interior is more of the communicator, number 3. And that's where I need to kind of try to strive to be, is in that 3 zone. But 5 is a good number to have for a 3 because it connects well with the 3s. And there are certain numbers that go well together. Like if you have a 3 life path and a 7 life path, there's ways that, you know, with 2 people in a relationship, there's ways that they interact with each other. Some are good for each other, some are not so good. Doesn't mean that if you've got a not so good number as a relationship that it's not going to work. This means you might have to work harder at it. But anyway, that's about it for now. This was just kind of a brief introduction to numerology, and it's another one of those tools, I think, that we can use to figure things out and help us along the way. You can get really, really deep into it and geeky about it, you know, if you want to. But I think it's another good kind of tool set to have, something interesting to look into at the very least. So, like I say, I'll put some links in the description down below. Don't forget, I've got a new Facebook page where I'm doing, I can do numerology readings for you. I don't think I've posted that up as an option yet on the page, but all you got to do is go message me on the Facebook page, which will be linked down below. And if you want a numerology reading, I can do that. I'm doing rune readings now and tarot card readings, and I'm also doing distance Reiki treatments. And if you have any questions about any of those or just want more information, just go to that Facebook page link below and click like and send me a message, and I will get back to you just as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. I hope you'll give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, come back and see me. I try to post as often as I can. Sometimes I do multiple times a week, sometimes I skip a week. So it's just whenever possible. Hello, Mr. Mockingbird. Did you guys see him there? We got a lot of mockingbirds around here. Mr. Mockingbird. Hey, hey, Mockingbird. All right. You guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.